So the three questions that we'd like to ask our guests are around they're more personal to you as a practitioner. And one of it is really, the first one is about the heart, like the joy that you get from this work. The second one is about the tensions that you feel internally, like the things that you're grappling with as a leader, as a practitioner, as a community member. And then the third one is around the kind of soul cry, like if you were to have a megaphone for everyone to hear, what would it be that you would want to say? So I know, again, we don't have a lot of time, but even just like little snippets around the joy, the tension, the soul cry.
Yeah, I think the joy I get in doing the work comes from the physical or visible in the physical and practical impact that I see, right? Because I think it's one thing to see us helping businesses go from idea to actually opening up a physical location, right? But I think it's the practical piece of now they have a business and that allows them to do other things that they thought they couldn't do, right? The power of business ownership allows them to make different choices in their lives and think about their potential in a different way. It's almost like the intersection of being underestimated and then their potential colliding.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I get the joy. I'm excited to see people realize that, and I can see it in real time, right? It's not something that I have to wait forever to see. I think we create the environment for that to exist. So that brings me joy. And I think the way that I'm able to do this and the rest of my team, we can do it without compromising who we are. That there's a realness to us just being us just showing up is enough, but we also show with all these other great resources and good energy and all that. But individually and collectively, what brings me joy is that we can show up ourselves, and I think that allows the other, the more first part I mentioned, really to thrive. So that's the joy. The tension comes around, I think, this trying to describe what we are and what we're not. And I think that could be tension. That's tension locally, state level, even talking with funders about what we are and what we're not. And I think because the need is so great, particularly in a place like Mississippi, when organizations have the type of reach or presence that we have, it could be not necessarily a gateway. It could be a kind of I can't think of the word, but almost people want to modify our mission because we have access to so many people and we're doing this. So they say, oh, well, since you're already doing this, can you do this around workforce development, or can you do housing, and can you do these other things, and trying to, almost persuade us to mission creep.
Yeah.
Because of the presence that we had, right? And I think the tension becomes trying to stay true to our mission, articulating the why or behind why we're not going to sway away from it, and still trying to have kind of a solid or maintain that relationship to whoever I'm talking with, right? Because I don't have to agree. You don't have to agree with me to understand where I'm coming from. We can agree to disagree that this is not a right fit. This is not a right partnership, whatever the case may be. But I think in the spirit of that, having like some understanding around it. So that's a
yes,
that's a tension point for me. And then the soul cry. Ooh. I think the larger one would be that it's so many. It's so many. I think one I could probably focus in on is that, you know, and I hear this often, and I don't know if it's just a Mississippi thing or a rural thing or whatever, but I think for most cases, I would cry out very loudly and say, you know, like, stop believing or thinking what you know about Mississippi, particularly as it relates to Black people, and come visit and like help us do the work. Like, I think because that right there would take away a lot of the preconceived notions, a lot of, oh, I read this in the paper or saw this on national news, and it's less about us wanting folks to come save us, because that's also like, we don't subscribe to that. It's like, we're doing this work with or without you, and if you're coming, make sure you come to support what we've already started, not to tell us how to do it, right? And I think that's a common thread, but
amazing.
I'm done for the day.